Hey y'all, it's Caitlin, and so James tagged me to do the pop personality. I've already looked it up by now, and you've seen it in the title by the time y'all are watching this. So, basically, you pick some pops that represent characters that represent your personality. Yeah. So, from this was harder for me, like really harder, because I don't really think about my personality too much, and when I do, I tend to focus on the negative aspects. Oh, that's so bad, but I do. It's true. Um, so I had to really sit down and think of not the negative stuff, but more of the positive stuff. Obviously, we all have negative attributes to our personality, and I'll touch on some of them here. But I try to focus on a lot of the positive stuff as well. So it really did take me a while. I kept thinking, well, maybe this character. Then I thought, no, this character. So finally, I narrowed it down to 4. And when you see the combination, you'll think, oh man, she's messed up. But okay, so I think I'm gonna start with this one. This is Matt from Digimon. So if you've watched the original Digimon series with Matt in it, you'll know that he wasn't someone who was too thrilled about the prospect of having friends. But as it turns out, he actually had the crest of friendship all along, because that was an attribute he had as a young kid. But now that he's a little bit older, he's become a lot more of a loner, and he just doesn't really, like the concept of having friends, except for his little brother TK, of course. Until later on in the series, when he embraces his friendship, pretty much. And that represents me a little bit, because as a kid, I had friends, but I wasn't necessarily allowed to play with them outside of school. So, I had friends at school. I never went over to anyone's house as a kid. I spent all my summers, all my weekends, pretty much by myself. I had my family with me, but I was an only child. I had some cousins, but the one I got along with the best lived a state away. And the others were teenagers, so, and I was a little kid. So even though I had some really good friends when I was in school, as soon as class got out, I was pretty much a loner. And it took me a long time to get to the point where I was comfortable making friends, and still to this day I have a lot of trouble with it. I know I seem really friendly, and I am, but when it comes to actually making friends, I struggle, because, not too long ago, one of my longtime friends that I've known since first grade got a new apartment, and he wanted me to go see it, and he gave me a week notice, and all that week I was psyching myself up for it, because I've never been used to going to another friend's house, and it honestly causes a lot of anxiety now. And so does simply going out and hanging out with friends. I don't do it very often at all. It's not that I don't want to, it's just that because I guess I was isolated, it just gives a lot of anxiety for me to do the normal things that you expect friends to do. So I definitely resonate with Matt a little bit there, because he just didn't have the time to really make friends with the drama that was happening in his family before he was dumped in the digital world. So that's pretty. I am good at making friends now. I'm just not good at the friend activities, I guess you could say. I know that's weird, but anyway. Now, on to, I don't know how to go with this one. I don't know where to go next. I think I'll go with here. So, one thing about me, I am extremely clumsy. And with clumsy comes danger prone. So, danger prone Daphne, that's what they called her in the series. And the thing with me is, I'm clumsy, but I'm clumsy when I'm trying, consciously not to be clumsy. If that makes any sense whatsoever, which I know it doesn't. But, I'll be, carrying something. When we were moving and stuff, and I was, carrying, statues and stuff, I was okay, I gotta be careful with this one. Don't hit the door with it. And sure enough, I hit the door. Not hard enough to break it, but I would hit the door or stuff like that. I remember one time when I was a kid, I was probably I don't know, not a kid necessarily, a teenager. I was stupid. I was on the couch eating pancakes with my laptop in a paper plate, and when I was finished, I was like, okay, I got to maneuver this to the trash can without spilling the syrup on my keyboard. So I thought, okay, I'm going to fold the paper plate up so it doesn't do it. And I was being very careful, and sure enough, my fingers slipped and the syrup got all over my laptop keyboard. And those keys stuck for so freaking long. Like, it took about a year before it finally stopped getting stuck on some of the keys. So I'm definitely a little clumsy, and that comes with being also a little bit danger prone. So yeah. Okay, so I think next, so when you do become friends with me and you do get to know me, pretty well, you'll realize what a sassy and sarcastic bitch I can be. So I'm someone who will tease you relentlessly. Like, seriously, you do something stupid, even though I know it's something that I would do completely, I will tease you about it. I don't care. It'll be a friendly kind of tease, but I will not. That's just my personality. That's the way my family is. A lot of people say I adopted my grandfather's sense of humor, and that's exactly true, because he used to tease the crap out of people all the time. all the time. And Regina is very, very sarcastic. I wouldn't say she's necessarily a tease, but she's very, very sarcastic, very, very sassy. But another thing, towards the end of Once Upon a Time, Regina was very, very loyal to her family and to her friends, and so am I. So not only am I sassy and sarcastic 90% of the time, but I'm also very loyal. When those who do have my love or my friendship or whatever, unless they really mess up, they're going to have my love and my friendship for a very long time. There is no one in my life that I've ever, completely written off. Even though, there's been some people that it's been years since I talked to, but even if they called tomorrow, I wouldn't have a problem talking to them. I'd have a problem going out with them, obviously, but I'm just not someone that will write off someone without a good reason, and so I'm very loyal to the people who I know and who I care about. But, so, I'm bad at making friends, I'm a little bit clumsy, I'm completely sarcastic and sassy, but I can also be completely dumb and gullible like Rose. There are times when I'm just like, I am so freaking stupid. I can't even count the times. Even though I tease people, sometimes it's hard for me to understand if they're teasing me or if they're being serious. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. Sometimes I have a little bit of trouble getting that, and that leaves me to be very gullible in some situations. And Rose Nylund was very, very naive and a little bit on the crazy, stupid side. And I can definitely resonate with that, a lot. People will tell me, a joke, and I'll be like, I don't know. I don't get it at all. And I know, and I've just come to live with it at this point. It's part of who I am. I'm a little bit derpy, I'm a little bit dumb, but I'm smart where it counts. So anyway, so this is my personality in a little small nutshell. Yeah. Anyway, so who to tag? You know what? Let's go with, I think, who did James off? I know James tagged someone else. I want to say it was Tylock. I can't remember. I'm going with Xavier the Geek and Franklin F. McGinnis. I'll tag those two. See how they tackle this challenge. And I'll leave links to James, Xavier, and Franklin's channel in the description box below, so you guys can go and check them out as well. And thank you all so much for watching this really weird video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, like always, it's a community, not a competition, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.